Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're coming from. Hope you all are doing well. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Good to see you all. Love to see you in chat. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Emma B, how you been? What's going on, everybody? We online. Let's go. Super excited for tonight. This is one of my this is the point, right? Like everything that we've been working towards leads up to what we start tonight, right? All the hard work, all the late nights, all the homework, the networking, the coding, the finger pain, the wrist pain, the eye pain, the neck pain, the everything is for what we start tonight. So tonight we are laying out the hunt, right? We are laying out the hunt. What does the end of our August, our September, our Hunttober look like so that we can get these jobs? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. So tonight will be a shorter class, hashtag end early as always. And we are going to lay out kind of what to expect, what you need to be working on. A lot of folks are like, Leon, we're getting towards the end of program. What should my priorities be? What should I be focusing on day to day? What should I be building? What should I be working on? We're going to answer that tonight. And then we're going to set the expectation for the next 2 months. Let's go. Today I was able to say I have a lecture on a software architecture paradigm when someone asked, do you really know coding? Let's go. Let's go. You did those MVC lectures. I see y'all. Let's go. Are you really in here like trying to spam your like bot service? Like what? That's weird. Get out of here. What's going on? That's wild. I love that. See, look, that's why we do what we do. When someone asks you, are you a software engineer? Not only am I a software engineer, I make lectures on software engineering. Do you want to see my MVC lecture? Do you want to see my MVC lecture? Come on now. Am I a software engineer? Get out of here. You don't, I bet, how long you been a software engineer? I bet you don't have a lecture. Where's your lecture at? Who you taught? I don't see you teach nobody. I've been teaching the whole community. I'm community taught, by the way. Get out of here. Get out of here. I bet they never taught another person. Exactly, mine. Exactly. I taught my cat MVC. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm proud of y'all. That was a lot of work, and some of y'all really ran with that homework. Some of you built some really cool lectures. I've been seeing them come in. Share that shit. Put that stuff on your portfolio. Put that on your GitHub, right? When somebody's looking at your portfolio and they see that you've built a whole lecture on MVC, what's going through in their brain? Let's stop and think for a second. When somebody comes to your portfolio, when they come to your GitHub or wherever they're interacting with you, and they see that you've put together lectures on topics, they know their stuff. They know what they're doing. They're teaching. They know so much. They're teaching other people. We're doing this stuff for a reason, folks. We need to pass that sniff test if we're going to do well on the hunt, right? We need to do these little things that when somebody comes and they look, when they give you those 6 seconds, right? When they give you those 6 seconds, right? And they look and they go, this pushes code every day. This person has built lectures on software engineering principles, paradigms. This person has really solid projects. This person has real clients. Are you going to the next round? Like, are you passing that first? Like, are you getting past that first bar? Right? Absolutely yes. 100% yes. No recruiter ever got in trouble passing the person that pushes code to GitHub every day, that has solid projects, that has built lectures on software engineering principles. They've never gotten in trouble for pushing that person to the next round. We're setting up little sprinkles here, right? We're opening little doors, right? That are going to enable us to have opportunity come our way. And what you have to realize is that a lot of these interviews, it's a numbers game, but it's an impressions game. People are people at the end of the day. People are people at the end of the day. And you can play the game. And tonight I'm going to show you how to play the game. Then you have a choice to make. Is that the game you want to play? So let's get into it. As always, I always like to start off with some lovely questions. Tonight, we're walking through some 100 dev stuff. We're talking about Hunttober. We're bringing back the idea that you need to be done some stuff, your professional checklist, your hit list, your interview prep, your 100 hours project. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight. But as always, let's start off with some questions. You got questions? Maybe I got some answers. Thank you everybody for the primes. Primes just lit up today. That's wild. Thank you everybody. Spending all those Bezos bucks. People are people. Yeah. People are people. We're playing a game where we're realizing that we are playing a game where there are people that are looking at this stuff. I was told I was good at interviewing by CTO, and all I did was regurgitate my answers from the interview questions. Banky, let's go. Let's go, Banky. Hey, NW Smith, thank you for the gifted subs. That's wild. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for the win. I love that. Leon, you said you share a list of companies that internationally hire. Not only have we shared that list, I have a whole lecture where I found companies that hire globally, and I found people that worked at those companies, and I showed you the messages I would actually send them. And we're going to do it again. So as we get deeper into the hunt, I know that there are kind of two types of folks. Well, there's technically three types of folks, right? So we have folks that are going to be applying locally, which has a slightly different strategy than folks that are applying globally, right? And then there are folks that want to be remote only, right? And so each of them has like a slightly different process. And as we get deeper into the hunt, we're going to have specialized material for each of those processes. So if you know you want to stay local, we're going to do a version of me building out the hit list for local companies. We're going to do a version of me building out the hit list for folks that want to be hired globally, and then folks that are kind of going for remote only type opportunities. Yeah. Is it too late to join this hunt? No, join us. Make sure you can do !100 devs to learn about what we've been going on, what we've been doing, and then make sure you join our Discord. We have a catch-up crew. We have new people joining us every day. Cool. Alrighty. So we have some good questions. I think we got most folks in here. I think we're good. Was there a raffle today? I don't know. Did you open the newsletter? Did you check? Did you check? That's the point. Yeah, if you're new around here, we have I can see a lot of first time chatter. Seems like a lot of folks that are kind of new today. Do !100 devs. That'll tell you everything about what we've been doing, what we've been working on. And then you can join our Discord and join our catch up crew. We have tons of folks joining the program every single day. Our Discord is 38,000 plus strong. You can get all your questions answered. We have an amazing community of folks. We are community taught. We're not self-taught around here. We're community taught around here. Cool. All right, folks, let's get into it. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, go ahead and check in for me, please. !check in will give you the link for today. The checking in is twofold. One, it lets me know that you're here, and then it lets other folks find us. We're going to be talking about tonight how important checking in is. As we get into post program, we need to know that you were here. How can we verify that you did the program if we didn't know that you were here for the program? So checking in is important. Please go ahead and make sure you do that. Remember, if you type in !check in, it doesn't actually check you in. You have to go to the tweet. You have to retweet it. Cool. I want your homework. Your MVC lectures were due today. Please go ahead and submit them. Some folks were saying, Leon, I did like a keynote or something. Drop it on a Google Drive and share the Google Drive with me. If you didn't use like a Google Doc or something that's immediately shareable, go ahead and just put it in like a drive and share that with me. Yep. So no stress if it's like a physical file or just like a PDF, host the PDF somewhere. Yeah. Cool. I want to see them. A lot of them already came through. We had 300 of them before we even went live for class tonight, which is pretty cool to see. So yeah, please get that homework in, get the MVC in. It was due today. Would love to see them. I've been taking a peek through them. Some of y'all are funny. Some of y'all got jokes. That's all I'm going to say. What if it's terrible? Yeah, we ain't got grades here. Nobody's grading this stuff. It's binary. Did you do it or you didn't? Quality's up to you. Alrighty. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday is an important day. September 4th, we are doing our back end review. We have one major topic left to add to our back end, which is our authentication, which we start on Thursday. Then next week, we will be continuing our authentication and doing a team project, building a full stack web application. Once we've had a chance to add authentication, we've had a chance to build a project together as a team, we're going to do a back end review. So we're going to go all the way back to the beginning, all the way back to the beginnings of Node, all the way back to the things we were talking about. I don't know, promises, callbacks, all that fun stuff, and work our way all the way up to building full stack web applications together. So how long we're streaming that'll be, no idea. But that's what we'll be doing. So book off your calendars, especially if you're new, especially if you still have some review that you would like to do. If you're part of the catch-up crew, this will all be perfect for you. So not this Sunday, but the following. Cool. Next week, we'll be doing team projects. You're a baddie, 007. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for telling me I'm a baddie. Every once in a while, you need to know that you're a baddie, right? I'm a baddie and I write bad code. I love it. Next week, we'll be doing our team projects. If you would like to participate in the team projects, please fill out this form. Yes, you right now that is watching this stream, if you would like to participate in our team projects, please go ahead and fill out this form. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to put groups together from that form. And so next week you'll have your group from if you filled out the form. Yeah. I've been having issues writing bad code. I'm starting to get kind of okay code. Oh no, that's great. Can we participate if we're still a beginner? Absolutely. That's a common question people say, like, Leon, during these team projects, right? During these team projects, I don't feel like I can contribute. Cap. That's a lie. You always can have something to contribute. You could be the person writing the HTML. You could be the person writing the CSS. You could be the person writing the documentation. You could be the person grabbing the copy. You could be the person that trusts a little bit in themselves and pushes to maybe do something a little bit more than they feel comfortable with, right? There's always something to do in these team projects, and we are community taught. The point of the projects is not to be flashy and show out and try and bring in stuff that we haven't learned yet. Leave all that off to the side. I don't want you doing React in these team projects or any other bullshit that we haven't learned. We're going to take the things that we have learned in class and use that to build. And if you've been here in class, you know how these pieces come together. You know how these things can be shaped and bent and broken. And that's what we're going to do together. Cool. Can we also pick our own team members? No. I want you at new people with fresh minds coming together to work on a project, because we're going to be doing this quite a bit. We're going to have quite a few team projects. And one of the things that you want, right? One of the things that you want is that you want the ability to have more peers that you know, that you can start to get to know a little bit better, right? Part of what you'll probably be looking for is some peer references going forward, right? You're going to want to be able to say, like, hey, I worked with this person. I know how well they work in a team. I know that they're a good coder, right? You want to start being exposed to a few more folks in the 100 devs community, because eventually peer references are a thing, right? And so you want to make sure that you're kind of mixing a little bit. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The hardest thing about team projects, you don't know if you're going to end up with people significantly smarter. Stop. That's one of the things that gets my goat. People are not significantly smarter, right? There are some folks that have the privilege of more time, that have had a little bit of chance to work on this more. And there are some people that just walk in with brazen confidence and no idea what the hell they're doing, right? And so what you want to be able to do here, right, is there's a lot of like people that are getting ban-evaded. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of people are getting banned immediately coming from somewhere. If you're spamming something over and over again, I'm just going to ban you, but you're also getting ban-evaded. Yeah. You're banned. Cool. All right. Like my whole thing just like lit up with people. Like, I think maybe somebody raided us from somewhere, but they all just got banned. That's weird. So there's something on Twitch now, which is like, if you've been banned before and you create like a new account, it like automatically filters out your stuff. Like, I don't know if it shows you that you put a message, but yeah, like it just knows that you're like ban evading, that like you were banned before, and like now it knows that you're being banned again. It actually doesn't know if it lets you know that you post it. Maybe that's why there is people spamming, but yeah, it just blocks all of them, which is weird. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I'll look into that after stream, in case it's being a little weird. But yeah, so one of my things is that a lot of folks stop themselves from participating in team projects because they have this idea that they don't know enough, or that they can't be helpful on a project. Guess what you're going to be doing in 2 months? You are going to be joining a team full of developers that already know the entire code base, that already know way more than you already know. And guess what you still have to be able to do? Provide value. You still have to be able to provide value. Every single person here is about to join a company where they are the person that knows the least because they just joined. And when you join, right? When you join, you are going to have to figure out how to provide value on that job. So when you join a team of your peers, you can't have that mentality. You can't have that mentality. It's something you have to practice now, right? It's something you have to practice now. It's something you have to get good at now. The reason why we do these team projects is that by the time you're joining the company, you've battled your demons already, right? You've battled those demons already. So you got to show up to these team projects knowing that if you've been here, you have a means of being helpful. You have a means of writing bad code, because we're all baddies still. And if you wind up on a team that has someone that's a little bit further along on the roller coaster, we're all in the same freaking roller coaster, maybe they're a few seats ahead, you need to advocate for yourself and say, hey, I feel like you're a little further ahead on the roller coaster, but this is still a team project. How can I be supportive? What can we do together to build this project? You have to start advocating and communicating for yourself in these team environments. And that's why we practice it. And we're going to practice it a couple of times because it is hard. It is something that people struggle with. It is something that causes people anxiety, right? Right? But it's the thing you're all going to be doing very, very soon. So we're all on the same roller coaster. Some of us are a few seats ahead. Some of us are a few seats behind. In these team projects, figure out a way to show up, to contribute, and to be helpful. And if you are the person that's a little ahead, well, guess what? It's your turn to help folks and get them to where you are at on the roller coaster. We're going down the ride and we're trying to reach back and grab a few folks with us. Leon, am I tall enough to ride this ride? You absolutely are. This is something that comes up. I actually have a slide for it. We're gonna skip past this wonderful stuff, and I'm gonna go right here. There are 2 points in the learning to code journey that are the toughest. Or let's say where most people exit the roller coaster. Okay? There are 2 spots. The first spot is day 1. Day 1, everyone's like, woo, money, great job, happy career, high growth. Sign me up, right? Like, that's what I want. I'm willing, Leon, I'll do the hard work. I'll show up. I'll do everything. Like, I want them. And then next class, you wanted me to do all of that? You were serious? You seriously wanted me to learn and to do this stuff? You like, I gotta take time out of my day to learn. Like, I can't just like press a button and now I'm making 6 figures. Like, what? Class 3. Gone. That Shay Hal, that Shay Hal has destroyed more careers because people realize the work they're gonna have to put in, right? I love that reading, but it filters some folks, right? That first 3 classes is the signing up for the gym, right? The first 3 classes is the signing up for the gym. It's December. We're gonna be looking good. We're gonna be pumped. We're gonna be looking good. January rolls around. You're day 1 in the gym. Yeah, let's go. Woo! I'm on the treadmill. And then 2 weeks later, how do I cancel this membership? You're sending letters to some weird corporate office and who knows where, and yeah, right. So I've been in this game for 10 years, teaching boot camps for 10 years. Those first 2 classes are people kicking the tires. That third class is when it sinks in that, holy crap, I'm going to have to do real work. And they're gone. That's the first place we lose people. You've made it all this way. You should be immensely proud of putting in that work, that time, that muscle to build up the skills that you have. How dare you go to a team project, sit down at a table with your peers and say that you don't have something to contribute? How dare you? You've shown up, you've put in the work, you've consistently shown that you have what it takes when so many folks do not. So I don't care if Node doesn't 100% click. I don't care if you still struggle with some CSS. It doesn't matter. You're still in the game. And so the second part where I lose the most people is today. This is where mentally a lot of people check out. Because this is when it starts to get real, right? Is when it starts to get real. And instead of facing the rejection, instead of facing some of the hard work that's about to happen, right? They take themselves out the game. There's nothing worse than taking yourself out the game. We've had people, I have put the exact words people have shared on the screen that said, I have coded a button and got an $83,000 a year job out of that interview. I have put on this screen people that have had no technical interviews and have gotten 6-figure jobs. Not me telling you, me literally showing you. You can go look in the celebrations channel and see 50 other people that have been pinned, and then people that have been popping off recently that have gotten the job. I don't care where you are. If you do the things we talk about tonight, you can get a job. It's going to be a lot. It is a lot of work. To pass that sniff test, to get past the gatekeepers, takes a certain mindset. And for a lot of folks, they take themselves out of the game right before they score the touchdown, right before they win, right before all the things that you've been showing up for months are about to culminate and happen for you. They say, you know what, maybe I don't know enough. Maybe I haven't done enough homework. Maybe I forgot to submit a few things. Maybe I when I sit in these team projects, it seems like they know more than me, so that maybe means I don't know something. These things they start to say in their brain, right? Start to say in their brain to slowly convince themselves to take themselves out the game. They rather be taken out the game than put in 2 more months of work and a whole host of rejection. I know rejection's tough. I know it's hard. I know that it sucks to get those first 5-10 rejections in a row, right? Because our spirits get so high when these recruiters reach out and it doesn't work out, right? But don't ever take yourself out the game. Always let somebody else take you out. Like you want to be dragged kicking and screaming away from this career. Right? Like that's what the mindset is. You need to be you I'm going to keep showing up these interviews. I don't care. I'm going to keep submitting code. I'm going to keep doing these projects. I'm going to keep doing this. And you're going to have to drag me away from this career. That's it. It's a decision. I have had students of all walks, shapes, sizes, creed, colors. It doesn't matter. I have never seen a singular thing that has helped somebody get a job over somebody else other than their willingness and their ability to want that job. That's it. There is always a way. Always a way. Now, are you going to have to apply? And remember, when we say apply, we don't mean click apply to 60 different jobs. Yes. Are you going to have to do a lot of work each day? Yes. Are you going to have to do the work that most folks don't want to do? Yes. But there is a way. So please, for the love of everything you have inside of you, don't take yourself out the game. You've put in too much time, too much work, too much effort to get in your brain and say you can't do this, because you can. People have literally gotten jobs that cannot code. I have known people that cannot code themselves out of a brown paper bag that have gotten phenomenal jobs. How'd they do it? I'm about to show you tonight. I'm about to show you. I've showed you already. I've shown you somebody that coded a fucking button and got a job. I've shown you somebody that did FizzBuzz and got a fucking job. Bruh. So how dare you say to yourself you're not ready to get a fucking job? How dare? How dare? How dare you say you're not ready? How dare you say you're not good enough? How dare you say you're not ready? How dare you say you're not going to put in the work after putting in all this work to get here? Nah. It's a decision, and I need you to make that decision tonight. I ain't here to play. I ain't here to fuck around no more. It's a decision. You either want it or you don't. That's it. Cool. All right, we got some other things we got to go through real quick, and then we'll get back into this. We go get. So, team projects next week. You all better be there. No, I don't feel comfortable. No, I don't know how to do nah, get out of here. You all have something that you can contribute. You all have some value that you can bring. You all have the ability to do amazing work. You've been here. You have the templates. You have the receipts. You're going to show up. You're going to put in work. You're going to build something awesome. Cool. We got some jobs to celebrate. There's too many. And I know that sounds like, you know, like it's a flex, but there really is too many. So I'm just picking some ones that I think were great. But there's plenty more in the celebrations channel. There's way more on Twitter. I'm going to keep trying to highlight a few each class. But there really are just a lot of folks getting jobs, which is pretty cool. Because we're not even supposed to be there yet. We're not even supposed to be here yet, and folks are already bringing it through. So let's go through the path that they've gone through. Got the job. I start my first role as a software developer next month. Thank you, Leon, and 100 Devs community taught folks for a truly life-changing experience and opportunity. I can't believe it. 100 Devs, you got this. It's possible. They got the job through networking, folks. During the summer, I took the opportunity to become a software developer intern. Today, I received an offer letter and got promoted to a software developer 1. Thanks, Leon 100 Devs, for the amazing support. Let's go get. We don't get got, we go get. Community taught, folks. They're not saying Leon, they're saying 100 devs. 100 devs. Community taught. Next week, we're doing community projects. Pull people along with you. Pull people along with you. If you wind up in the group and you feel like you're the person that knows the most, guess what your job is? Your job is to not build the best software. It's your job to make sure everyone else can. Do we get that? Next week's team projects. If you find yourself to be the person that's sitting a few seats ahead in the roller coaster, your job is not to be a flexosaurus. Your job is to not try and grab some weird shit that you learned on a weekend by yourself. It's to turn to the other 5 people in that they're in that group with you and say, how do I get you a few seats ahead on that roller coaster? That's it. That's the point. You can't do that. Get the fuck out. I don't want you here. God, there's too many of you here. This is going to be a lot. Lots on my plate. You can't be a good team member. You're not committing to community talk. Get the fuck out. Bye. It's been nice. Thank you. Bye. All right. After being contacted by an inside recruiter and going through my first interview ever, I got the job as a software engineer. I'm so happy. I can't believe it because I totally felt like I could never get a job like that. How many of you are feeling that right now? Because I totally felt like I could never get a job like that. Felt it was out of my reach. I'll be making more than my father is making, and he worked at a company for 10 plus years. My first real job. I'm 18 years old. I'm a software engineer. Let's go. Sure, I got your cert. I'll send it to you later today. Let's go. Totally felt like I could never get a job like that. Felt like it was out of my reach. Let's go. There's a window open, folks. There's a window opening. You're so close to going through it. Don't take yourself out the game. Go through the fucking window. Please. Please just go through the window. Any doubt that pops up in your head, shove it down. Now's not the time. It's game time. It's the hunt. No time, no room for that doubt. I showed you the trough of sorrow. It's the first thing I showed you. You're in the wiggles of false hope. It's the lowest point on the trough of sorrow. I'm mad I didn't put the slide on the screen. The lowest point is right now. I showed you that day one. Day one. Day one. Day one. Lowest point is right now. I showed it to you day one. Most people, like, when I show them the trough, they're like, yeah, all right, Leon. Well, you went through it. And now's the hardest part. The wiggles of false hope. Right? The wiggles of false hope. This is where we're at right now. You put in the work. You've been showing up. You've been doing the things you're supposed to do. And now it gets real because we have to transition from classroom to on the job. And all the alarm bells go off in our head. Nobody's going to pay me to do this. I don't feel like I can do this. Nobody's going to ever think I'm a real engineer. All these things come to our brain. That's the thing I showed you day one. It's the lowest point. But we're going to start building projects together. You're going to start building your 100 hours project. We're going to do Hunttober together, where we do a data structure and algorithm question every single day together. And slowly those wiggles of false hope get you to the promised land. But you're in the lowest part, and I showed it to you day one. Cool. So I love that everyone that I showed you tonight, and I've been showing you from these jobs we were getting, are thanking the community. We are community taught. There's so many of us, like, it's not me, right? Like, yeah, like I show up, we do class, like fun, woo, yeah. But I'm not the person answering all the questions on Discord. I'm not the person answering all the questions in chat. I'm not the stream team that has another whole crew of folks that are coming to help and support, right? Like, it's a community. We built something special, and now's the time that we need to lean on it the most. I'm gonna say that one more time. We built something special, and now's the time we need to lean on it the most. We know that this should be the low point. We know this is the wiggles of false hope. Be on Discord, help each other, answer questions, look at each other's resumes, look at each other's stuff, help each other. It takes nothing from you to help another Hunttober. Cool. All right. Don't take yourself out the game, right? I don't know what it is about this point in program. I've been doing it for 10 years. This is where folks decide, you know what? I'm not going to be successful, so I'll stop. Fuck that. Get rejected 60 times. Who cares? What's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference? Stopping now or getting rejected 60 times and then stopping. Who cares? Who cares? Don't reject yourself. Exactly. You got this. You got this. You wind up in the same place. If you take yourself out and you were to get rejected 60 times, you wind up in the exact same place. But guess what happens? That doesn't happen. You learn from each rejection. You learn from each little failure in an interview. You learn how to be a lean, mean interviewing machine, and you come out of it with a job. Why stop? Why stop? You have the skills, you have the things, and I'm going to show you tonight. Even if you never showed up for a class before, and this is your first class, I'm going to show you what to do and you would get a job. That's it. You do the things we talk about tonight, you'd get a job. Even if you're a catch-up crew, even if it's your first class, you do these things, you'd get a job. All right. What we're about to show is a lot. And the next 2 months and the end of August are unequivocally an exercise in time management. An exercise in time management. You will have a lot to do, lots of doors to open, and I need you to go hard for 2 months. Figuring out your schedule, not going into your days like an accident, not going into your weeks like an accident, not going into your months like an accident. You must plan. You must organize. You must have tough conversations with your family and friends. Your friends, as Dr. Eric Thomas says, your friends called, tell them they called at the wrong time. You got some shit to do for the next 2 months. Some of you are going to need to talk to your family. Hey, these next 2 months, I've been working really hard over these past few, but these next 2, they're going to be tough. I'm going to need some more time. Can you help me out? Some of you are going to have to delete TikTok. Exactly. Some of you are going to have to delete TikTok. It's going to be an exercise in time management. But you go hard for September and October, and I guarantee you will be surprised in yourself how far along in your journey you will be and how close to a job you will be. So, with that being said, let's talk about Hunttober. We're building up the Hunttober. Hunttober is a daily event. We meet every day. We do a data structures and algorithms together on Discord. I answer questions from the crowd about the things that they're experiencing on the job. We're going to be looking at resumes, portfolios, how to do job outreach. We'll be talking about interview practicing and skills. We'll be doing verifications for folks that start getting jobs. it's going to be a special time. Last cohort, we did Mega Month, and it was really, really helpful for a lot of folks. They went from really not being so much interview ready to really interview ready, because every day we built up to more and more complex data structures, more and more complex ways to interview. You were prepping for a whole month in terms of like talking through coding challenges, making sure all your stuff is buttoned up. But Hunttober is not for everyone. Hunttober is for folks that are ready to get a job. Let me say it again. Hunttober is for folks that are ready to get a job. And what does that mean? That means that it is for folks that are ready at this point in time to do the things they need to do to be job ready. I want to laser focus my attention on folks that are ready to get a job. Okay. That means that this will not be public streams. This will not be like on Twitch. This will be in a private channel on Discord. This will be in a private voice call on Discord. This is something that we're going to be focused. You're going to have special channels where you can share the things that you're working on. You can share the things that you need feedback on. It will be a community of folks laser focused on getting a job and supporting folks to get that job. And I ain't here to play. Not here to play at all. I'm going to be putting a lot of time, a lot of energy into Hunttober. Hundreds of hours. Why do I always do this? Hundreds of hours into Hunttober. Lots of work on my end, the mods end, the communities end, and I'm not here to play. So if this is something that you want, if this is something that you want to be a part of, if you're ready to get the job, well, then I got a list of stuff I need you to do. To be part of Hunttober, to get access to that part of Discord, to make sure that you're in that mode where you're willing to grind, there's some things you need to do. Now, if you're like, Leon, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for Hunttober. I'm kind of still going at my own pace. That's okay. There will still be a path for you. This is just something special for folks that have been culminating in this program so far and that are ready to get the job. It's a moment of focus. It's a moment of attention. It's a moment of really making sure folks are ready for the job. Now, if you're not ready for the job, that's okay. Still continue at your own pace. We'll be building systems for you as well, right? But Hunttober is about getting a job. So here are the things I need done. First, if you want to participate in Hunttober, I need you to type, I want it in chat. I want to make sure that people actually want this before we commit so much time and energy to it. Okay. All right. I think we're there. I see a lot of wants it. All right. Sounds good to me. All right. I want it. Now I'm going to hold you to it. If you typed I want it, I'm going to hold you to it. I really, really want it. I'm going to definitely hold you to it. People are highlighting the message. I want it. Let's go. All right. All right. All right. This might not have been this might have been worth it. Let's go. That's why I show up, folks. I want you all to get jobs, and this is the best thing I could ever see, right? This to me means that the past months of time, right? The past months of time were worth it, and we have a strong community of folks that want to be focused, that want to get jobs, and that are going to support each other in that journey. When you type I want it, it's not just for you. We are community taught. That means you're committing to a month of focus to help everyone get across that finish line. Let's go. All right. I need to be checking in for every class. Going forward, every single class matters, right? We're going to be doing authentication, we're going to be doing React, and we're going to be doing classes specifically tailored to the hunt, right? So if you miss one of these classes, it's going to impact you during Hunttober, right? So I need you to be here for each class. I need you to check in. I need you to be submitting everything, meaning that I need you to be doing the homework. Homework is always going to be due a week later. The homework now like actually really matters, right? If you don't do the homework now, Yobi, hey, thank you for the gifted subs. Thank you for being here. Look at some of these folks. Look at some of these OGs in chat too. DM boy, hey, how you doing? I need to be checking in for each class. That means you're liking, retweeting the tweet, so I know that you're here. You're doing the homework, meaning that you're actually submitting the homework. You had an MVC lecture to submit. Get it in. Get the lecture in. I'll give you until Thursday. Get it in, please. You had the whole week. I'm going to give you till Thursday. Get it in. Whoopsie. You said you wanted it. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. So you be checking it so I know that you're here. You're doing the homework. There's going to be mainly project building that you're doing. And so we're going to be asking you to do the team projects, to be doing the homework, right? And the reason why the homework is important now is because it really is setting yourself up for all the things we need during the hunt, right? The MVC lecture, people like, when I signed it, I didn't really tell you why, right? A lot of people are like, oh, Leon wants us to build a lecture. Huh, that's cool. But now you see the logic, right? Having a lecture on your portfolio automatically makes you an expert, right? We're big brain in it. When somebody is taking those 6 seconds to look at your portfolio and they see that you build lectures on stuff, come on now. That they're going to think about you differently, right? They're going to think about you differently. So all these things, right? All these things are just setting you up, right? To pass that sniff test so you can get the job, right? And so the homework's really important going forward. It's really important going forward. All right, networking. I need you to bring it back. Each week, I need you to be getting 1 coffee chat and 3 connections every week. As we get closer to Hunttober, we are going to focus our networking. And you could start this now. Networking doesn't have to be general networking anymore. What we will be doing is our networking will become focused, meaning that we're not just going to random meetups. We're not just going to random Twitters. What we are doing is we are building out. Where's our hit list? Sorry, I'll get to it in a second. We are building out our hit list, right? Exclamation point sheet. When you do exclamation point sheet in chat, it gives you the link to our hit list. So go ahead and do exclamation point sheet. There we go. Hold on, I'm trying to grab the link. There we go. Copy link. So there was something really cute today. Somebody before class did exclamation point sheet, and then Nightbot gave them the sheet, and they thanked Nightbot for giving them the sheet, which I thought was pretty cool. Like they said thank you to Nightbot. I was like, that's precious. All right, here's the sheet. You all have been doing this part of the sheet, right? You've been doing like, oh, I've been going to these events, been putting stuff in, but boom, there's this other part of the sheet, right? It's not going to load right now because there's like 1,000+ of you trying to load it right now. But there's a place to put the company, the date you added it, the open role, right? The open role. You are going to find 60 companies that have an open role, right? 60 companies that are going to find, right? That are going to find that have open rules where you can apply, right? And you're going to add them to the sheet. So 60 companies that are hiring that seems like a role where you could be a good fit, you're going to add them to your hit list. Then your networking becomes targeted. You are going to find folks at those companies to start networking with. We're going to have whole classes on this, whole classes on how to network, how to find these people. But that's something you can start right now. Find the companies, find the people that work at those companies, and that's your networking. You're going to start trying to get coffee chats with them. You're going to start trying to connect with them so that when you are ready for Hunttober and you are ready to apply, you're getting referrals and not clicking apply. So I need you to start this week. This week, I expect 1 coffee chat. Next week, I expect 1 coffee chat and 3 connections. It can be general, but you maybe also want to start getting focused. 60 companies with 60 roles. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. We've had full classes on how do you get coffee chats. You can watch some of our earlier how to network. We have a whole class on how to network. Right? So if you're like, what's a coffee chat? Go back and watch our how to network class. Right? This is often, like I said, the hardest part for folks. We're going to have classes on how to find people that work at these companies. So we're going to get there. So you can do general purpose networking if you want until we get there. But if you want to peek ahead, I have a few classes on my YouTube about how to build out the hit list, how to get a job, how to find these folks. I literally did it for 3 hours straight, building out someone's hit list, finding the companies, finding the open roles, finding the people that work at that company. If you want to take a peek, you can go take a peek at those. Yeah. But I'm going to expect you to be networking. Cool. I need to be pushing every day. Need to be pushing every day. You should be doing a coding challenge every day already. These are things that these are not new things that I've been asking you to do. I've been asking you to do these things for a while. So it shouldn't be like, oh, Leon, oh my gosh, what are these things you're asking me to do? No, I've been asking you to do these things for a while. All right. So you're bringing back the networking. I want you to push every day. Recruiters love those green squares. They do. But more so, it's getting you in the habit of writing code every day. So that by the time we're in Hunttober, you're a lean, mean writing code machine. Ideally, you're doing your coding challenge and pushing that to GitHub, right? But if you're not ready for that, that's okay. Push a README file. I don't give a crap. Push a README file every day for the next week for all I care. And eventually you'll start pushing real code. Cool. We have some other stuff that I want us to do, but we're going to take a break here. I know, like, oh, Leon, expectations, things to do. Oh, boy. So we're going to take a break. We're at the top of the hour. If you're new around here, we like to be healthy. We like to make sure that if you're able, that you get up, move around, walk around, hydrate, and then we'll be back. We're going to talk through some of the other things that we need to be doing to get ready for Hunttober. Like I said, this is the hardest part. I showed you day one. Trophostar has a little dip down, and then the wiggles of false hope. But we're bringing structure. People need structure at this point in time. It's the thing that's going to help us push us over the edge, not take ourselves out the game. We're going to do it together as a community. Cool. All right, let's take a break. 5 minutes on the clock. When we come back, we're going to keep pushing. How's everyone quitting their job to do class? Do you have sugar people? I love it. I always ask my students, please don't quit your job if you don't have to. Right? Like I am not a proponent of people quitting their jobs to interview or to get ready to interview. I just think it's easier to hunt when you're not worried about food. Some people say it hones your hunting skills. I think you go home hungry a lot when you go out to hunt. Anybody that's really ever hunted, you know that you come home hungry most times. So it's nice to have some food at home. Yeah, I know it's harder. But I am a big fan of trying to whatever you can do to increase stability. Whatever you can do to increase stability, I think is a really important thing. For some folks, maybe that is quitting, right? Maybe that does bring more stability and time. But I think whatever you can do to be more stable is probably the best thing. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we talked about bringing some important things in. You already said you wanted it. Now let's show you what you got to do to get it, right? Hunttober special channels, special voice channels, daily kind of data structures and algorithms time, making sure that you are really ready to go out on the hunt to get this job. You said you wanted it. You're checking in every class. You're doing the homework. You're doing your networking. You're pushing every day. These are not new things. I've been asking you to do this since the beginning. And we're going to start incorporating some very specific practice that's going to get us job ready. Okay. So first thing we're going to do this week, I need you to read about string methods, right? There is this lovely bit of reading here in the slides that I need you to do. Read about the string methods. Add them to a new Anki deck for you. I need an Anki deck that's all about interviewing, right? An Anki deck just for interviewing, where you're going to put these new methods and then you're going to do code wars around these methods. Okay. I'm going to go check on my baby real quick. I'll be right back. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes on the clock. Little one just got their vaccine, so I don't think they're feeling too well. 3 minutes on the clock. Take an extra break. Be right back. Alrighty. So we talked about the idea of, well, we are now, said you want it. You're checking in. You're doing the homework. You're doing the networking. You're pushing every day. And now we're starting to add very specific things to our prep. So this week, I need you to read about string methods, and then you're going to add them to a specific Anki deck for your interviewing, right? For your interviewing. And then I want you to do your code wars or your code challenges this weekend, all themed around strings. So when you go to do your code wars this week, you can look up code wars that are specifically tagged as strings. One of the things we have to do as we start kind of getting ready is not jumping around or bouncing around different types of interviewing, right? We want to be doing very specific problems that we can focus on and start to see the patterns, right? So go ahead and make sure that this week you read about the strings that are here in the slides. You add all those methods, all the string methods to your Anki decks, and then you do code wars around the strings. No regex. You want to actually learn and practice these methods. Each week, we're going to have a separate set of methods that we need to get better at. And then when it comes to Hunttober, we're going to lean on those methods and start building out to some more complex structures, right? So We start off with simple methods. We get better and better. We add more and more. So by the time you're in Hunttober, you have this breadth of methods that you can dip back into for strings, for arrays, for objects, for all of that stuff. Cool. This week, strings. Checklist. I asked you to submit the stuff for the checklist for months. It's been months. We were on a break. It's been months. And that checklist has a lot of stuff that I asked you to do for your professional skills. So if you haven't already done the checklist, I believe it's !list or !checklist in chat, !checklist in chat. That'll give you the link to the actual checklist. And that link has everything that I need you to do. And what you will notice when you go to this link is that it was originally due in April. I did 10 coffee chats. Did 10 coffee chats on Monday. And quite a few folks were like, Leon, I haven't done the checklist yet. Well, guess what? Now you got a week to get it done. Everything that's on here. We have our portfolios. We have the resume. We have our LinkedIn. Sean, you're on here. Sean's been holding some phenomenal Twitter spaces. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. GitHub, Twitter, everything that you need to be ready professionally for the job hunt is on here. All right? Is on here. Make sure you have completed this. And guess what? It's due by August 30th. You got a week. You want to be part of Hunttober? You got a week. All right. Team projects will be due on September 6th, right? Will be due on September 6th. You will have time to learn how to add authentication this and next week. And then we'll be working on a team project next week. Your team project will be due September 6th. The beautiful thing about the team project is that you're going to be using the template, right? So you're not starting off from zero. You'll be using the templates. You're going to be adding, modifying, breaking, adding just a little bit to make it your own. Not the Instagram clone, a simpler project. Yeah. Wait, Blah, your team project was only friends? That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Hit list due September 13th. I want 60 companies that you're going to apply to. 60 companies on your hit list. Eventually, you will add 5 individuals at each of those companies, minimum of 3, shooting for 5 at each of these. I don't need you to have all those individuals yet. I just need the companies that you're going to be targeting on your list. You're all here to get jobs, and we got to find the jobs, right? So if you're applying locally, you're going to be looking for jobs locally. If you're applying globally, you're going to look up list of companies that are hiring globally. If you're looking for remote only, you're going to find list of folks that are hiring remote only, and you're going to add them to your hit list. My question to you, do you still want it? I've helped hundreds of folks get jobs. Hundreds of folks get jobs. This is how they do it. It's 2 weeks of a lot of catching up and 2 months of a lot of work. But the end is worth it. All right. Hit list September 13th. If you haven't already gotten your client signature, so remember, I asked every single one here to get a paid client, to volunteer for a grassroots org, or to contribute to a free software open source project. If you have not done that, you have until the 27th to do it. You do not get into Hunttober without having done one of those things, because we want to verify that you participated in the program. Eventually, folks that are part of Hunttober will be eligible for references. There's no way I am being a reference without these things. Now, I've seen something going around that does not count. Somebody opened up a like make your first contribution to free software, and it was like just like open a pull request and I'll approve it. Get out of here with that. That doesn't count. Find an actual project, contribute actual code. Get out of here with that. This is your first. No, that doesn't. Get out of here. Like, what are you doing? Either get a client, contribute to a real project, or volunteer with a grassroots organization. They got. They got. Got until the 27th. Great. Also, due to the 27th, I want a beautiful MVP of your 100 hours project. Beautiful MVP. MVP is a minimum viable product. It means that your 100 hours project is nowhere near done, but the core idea is there. The core idea is there, and it looks good. Because this weekend, you could start writing the EJS, the HTML, the CSS. You all have access to the MVC template. You all have access to the MVC template with auth. Already, I've already linked it on the Discord. There's no reason why you can't start with that right now to start building your 100 hours project. And I need that MVP, like the core of it, done. Like the core idea, like what you're trying to accomplish, looking good by the 27th. Hydra, come back to the slides. I'll put it in Discord. Probably not tonight, but yeah. And I need the 100 hours project done by the 11th of October. $100 projects need to look good. If you can't make it look good, use Bootstrap. Use a template. Use something that somebody's already made look good. $11 premium apps also due by October 11th. Don't worry about this one yet. We have to have a whole class on how to do this. But basically, premium apps are like the applications that you really care about. We put a little bit more effort into those applications. We're not there yet, so don't worry about this one yet, but know that's something that you're going to need to be thinking about. And know that Hunttober is an everyday thing. So, I'm asking a lot, but I'm giving a lot. I'm asking a lot, but I'm giving a lot. October, we hunt. Now, you said you wanted it. Now's their turn to not take yourself out the game. Now's your turn to lean in, to go deep, to figure out whatever you got left in the tank and put it on the field. It's time to carry some boats, some logs. It's time to hunt. It's not called the hunt because we kind of just we laugh and we do interviews. No. We go, we eat people's lunch, we hunt. And these are the things I need if you want to participate in the hunt together. I want a community of folks that are lean, mean, interviewing machines that are supporting each other for a focused window of effort to get a job. So you do these things that I've asked you to do. You will get added to special channels on Discord where you will have a community of folks that are serious about getting a job. that will be looking at resumes, portfolios, that will have special discussions, that will meet every day to do data structures and algorithms, to go through coding challenges, that will be able to talk through the problems they're having in the hunt with the goal of getting the job. You do these things, you get a job. And a lot of our classes, right? A lot of our classes will be focused around getting you ready for these different pieces, these different bobs, and making sure that you are ready for the hunt. This is not a coding boot camp. This is a getting a job boot camp. Time to pay the piper. It's time to get a job. Cool. All right. On top of all of this, you need to be keeping up with your bank, right? You need to be keeping up with your banky. You need to be practicing your behavioral questions. Don't let your car atrophy cause action result for all your behavioral questions. Make sure you're still working through those banky questions, those technical questions using EU, explanation, use, example. Make sure you're doing your coding challenges every day. And now your coding challenges should be a little bit more targeted. You should be doing string problems this week. Everyone do string problems this week. Next week, it'll be something different. Just getting us ready for the hunt. Now, depending on how many folks we have in Hunttober, there will be a culmination of an interview with me. There will be for all the folks that complete this work, because it's a lot, that go through the whole process, right? If you submit everything, you get a reference, right? So you get a verification, right? When somebody says, hey, can you verify that this person was a part of 100 devs? I'm going to be like, all right, did they check in? All right. Did they turn in the homework? All right. Did they submit their networking sheet? All right. Did they push every day? All right. Did they submit their checklist? Did they submit their team project? Did they submit their hit list? Did they get a client and approve pull request on an open source project or volunteer for a freelancing client? Did they submit 100 hours MVP, 100 hours completed project? Did they do their premium apps? Because if they did, they're a fucking 100 devs graduate and they will get verified. I've literally hired someone to help us do these verifications. So when a company says, hey, Leon, was this person at 100 devs? Fuck yeah, they were. Look at all this shit that they did. We'll submit the verifications and we'll make sure that they knew that you were here participating. Can catch-up crew get verified? That's the goal. The goal is to still build these systems for folks that last for a while. Now, the downside is that it does cost me money to do this. So I got to get this agency up and running because it's not cheap to hire people to handle thousands of verification requests from hundreds of different companies, right? Hope you understand there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the background to make this work. I will never take money from students, so don't even go that route. So that's something we got to think about. We got to get this agency up and running because it's a lot to do that, right? So I say that because some people are like, why can't you just do verifications without doing all this stuff? There's no way I'm saying that you were here if you didn't do these things, right? Right? This is me feeling, yeah, you did these things. Fuck yeah, you were here. I know you were here. I knew you put in the work. I'll do everything I can to get you the verification letters or whatever you need to help you with that job application. Now, once we come through Hunttober, there's a lot of stuff, right? For folks that go through Hunttober, they give me their all, and they also want a reference, like me picking up the phone to talk to people on their behalf well, we'll do that as well. Will the folks that make it through Hunttober, they'll have the opportunity to do a final interview with me. It'll be a behavioral question. It'll be some technical questions. It'll be quick pseudo coding, a coding challenge. You pass that, I will get on the phone and be your reference. So it's a lot. I asked you in the beginning if you wanted it. You said you wanted it. Now this is what we need to do to hunt. It is a lot, but this is what gets jobs. This is what gets jobs. Been doing this for a long time. I don't care how good you are at coding. I don't care how well you've done up until this point. You do these things that I've asked you to do, and you will be at the level that you need to get a job. Questions? How can we help you? We're going to talk about that next week. I floated this idea last week and during office hours called 100 maintainers. There's a lot of little projects that are going to help this process go smoothly. And so we're going to need folks that want to write some code to help 100 devs. And so I've been recruiting some senior engineers, some alumni that want to help lead projects that'll help 100 devs and make this process go smoother, and something that's maintainable for the future for the catch-up crew. So this is our first run through a lot of this. We're going to get a lot of things wrong. We're going to get a lot of things right. And we're going to build systems that help all the folks that come after us. What would count towards an open source PR, like an actual open source project that you committed code to, that you did something for that project? Yeah. Boats and logs, baby. Yep. Are global companies remote by default? No. So there are a lot of remote companies that only hire folks from certain countries. So there are a lot of remote jobs that will only hire people from the US or like Canada, right? That's not a global hiring company. Those are two different things. Now, there are lots of companies that hire a global workforce, but those are different. Yeah. Being remote doesn't necessarily mean that that they will hire anyone from anywhere. Oh, would contributing to 100 maintainers count as a proof PR? Yeah, I think that would count. Yeah, why not? How do we go about getting a reference before Hunttober? Blal has been working on a submission form for folks that have already met all these things that I've asked you to do. And we will be sharing that soon. So if you've already done all the things that I need you to do for me to feel comfortable getting on the phone and saying that you are like the bee's knees, you'll be able to submit all that stuff for ahead of time. Yeah. I'm a few classes behind. Can I submit that and catch up? Yep, you have some time to catch up. We're also going to be doing the full backend review. So if you're like close, you still have some time to catch up. Is Google doable without knowing TypeScript Angular? Yeah, plenty of people work at Google without knowing TypeScript or Angular. But saying can I work at Google is like saying can I play for the Yankees, right? Of like maybe you could walk out of high school and play for the Yankees, but most people can't. And that's okay. Don't ever let your dreams be dreams, though. Lots of things you can do to make it into those types of companies. It's just not something that I am necessarily an advocate for, because I think it sets unreal expectations for folks. question, is this the only Hunttober that will happen? It's the only one that we have planned for right now. Right now, this is the only Hunttober, right? Like there's something special about this being a live program. We're definitely committing to helping the catch-up crew get verification that they went through the program or that they were at the 100 Devs agency. So that's something we're committing to for the long run. But another Hunttober, we don't have it planned yet. But if we have another good group of folks that want it, then I will do it. Yeah. Right now, we have a group of folks that have been going through the program live that all need a focused, dedicated time to get a job. And so that's what I'm going to help support. All the dates are on the slides. You have them all in the slides. I'm sure we'll eventually put it in Discord, but they're all on the slides for right now. Our Hunttober classes weekend and weekday only. We'll be meeting every weekday, but there will be stuff to do over the weekends. So it is like an everyday thing, but the actual voice calls will be Monday through Friday. And this goes without saying, like, don't let me get in between you and your God. Like, a lot of folks need to take that one day off a week. Like, you should be taking that one day off a week. Like, I'm expecting like 6 days of Code Wars, not 7 days of Code Wars, if that makes sense. Yeah. Will there be different time zone calls for Hunttober? Nope, it'll be because we always have class at the same time. So it'll be around the same time. We will probably have some groups that are in different time zones that form. Last time we did the mega month, we had a good group of folks that met like earlier in the day and then a good group of folks that met later in the day. So I think naturally we'll help that organize. Yeah. So the people that don't make it to Hunttober won't learn about data structures and algorithms. No, we still have classes that'll be regular class time on data structures and algorithms, but it won't be the learning every day type of practice. Like, learning data structures and algorithms is one thing, putting them into practice is a whole different thing. Like, if you ever do any data structures and algorithms course, it's worthless because you have to do it. And you have to practice it. You have to put it into practice. You have to solve real problems. So we'll have a class on it, but then it's going to be on you to then practice those data structures, those algorithms every single day. And the cool thing about Hunttober is that we will be doing that every day. Yeah. Can you still be in Hunttober if you're no? Hunttober is for the folks that get these things done. I need to be super focused on a core group of folks that are ready to get a job, right? Like that I just want to be focused. I want to be locked in. I want to make sure that the folks that are ready to get the job I can help support. There'll be plenty of stuff after Hunttober to help folks specifically like in the catch-up crew and stuff like that. But I want a group of folks that really want it, that really want to grind, that really want to go on the hunt. That's what I'm looking for. The real ant asset, the PR just had to be for an actual project, not something like not like a repo that somebody says contribute to open source by submitting a PR. Like, no, like an actual real project. If you're still catching up, yeah, you'd probably try to catch up. Like, if you want this, then you would have to catch up in time. Yeah. Gamer Woman 3D, send me a mod mail, please, and then we'll make sure you get the link. Been here since day one and feel so unready for this. Well, that's the point. The point of doing Hunttober and the mega month we did last time is to focus folks, right? Like, I know it seems like a lot. I know that it's asking a lot, and I don't do that lightly, but it's what a lot of folks need at this point in time, or else they kind of just trickle along. And I don't want you to trickle along. I want you to get a job. I'm not doing this for my health. I'm doing this because I want you to get a job. So I'm going to try and focus to give a little bit of a push as I can so that folks can focus and actually get the job that they want. You can do anything else you want to trickle along, but this is a getting a job program, and I want you to do the things that you need to do to get a job. And sometimes people need this push. They need this focus. And that's what we're going to do. Can we go over what premium maps are? We'll have a whole class in the premium maps. It's basically just like the 10 companies that you're most excited for. You do more for those applications. You build like a custom project for it. You do a series of things that we'll have a whole class on. So it's like 10 companies that you're really excited about, and the extra things that you do to make sure that your application stands out at those companies. But we'll have a whole class on it. So like I said, don't really stress about that one right now. I know that's not 100% clear, but we'll have a class on it. When you said use a template for your $100 project, what do you mean? It means that you should not be writing that code from scratch. You should be starting probably with my MVC with off template and building from there, and then probably bringing like other templates so that it looks good. The clue said, does getting a side gig with a small company doing WordPress sites count as a client signature? If you're getting paid to be a developer, it counts. Yeah. How will being verified help me get a job? Well, a lot of companies want, like, if you say that you're a software engineer and 100 devs, they're going to want to verify that you were actually in our training program here at 100 devs. So if you do these things, then when you apply to jobs, you can say, hey, I was doing this program at 100 devs, and then we'll be the ones that'll say, yep, they were here, they did everything, they did all this work, and we'll return their verifications. If the company is not hiring, should we put it on the hit list? No. You only want to put companies that you can actually get a job at on the hit list. So yeah, you want them to be hiring. Is there a limit of people going into Hunttober? No, but we'll see. I have a feeling that it'll thin a little bit. That's not what I want to have happen, but that's what happens when you ask people to focus for a little bit, right? Not everyone will have the privilege of time to focus in. And if you can't participate in Hunttober, like, that's okay. All the classes are still, like, you still have class, you still have all the things that you could be doing to get a job. It's just, I want to light a fire underneath the folks that are ready to start getting the job, right? All my classes are already on YouTube. All of last cohort's already on YouTube. You can go through that at your own pace, but I want a small contingent of folks, or not small, as big as it can be, of folks that are like ready to actually go on the hunt. The whole reason I do this is to get people jobs. And so I want to be that little bit of a push to get folks actual jobs instead of people just trickling along, not doing the things that they know they need to be doing to get a job. This will help focus folks and actually get a job. How much time do I have to catch up? All the dates are in the slides. What if someone can't catch up? Well, that's what the catch up crew is for. You keep going on at your own pace. Class still continues like normal. Like, we still have a lot of classes to do live. It's just Hunttober is going to be like a special space on Discord and a special bit of focus from me. Neko, why wouldn't you get verification if you've been doing everything? So just to be very, very clear, we are working on building systems for folks to be verified no matter when they complete the program. That's the goal. How long I can continue to do that, I'm not sure, because it takes a lot of time, money, and effort to do that. But that's the goal, is try to build those systems. Mm-hmm. What if life happens in October and we miss a few things? Communicate. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Uh so when you verified, you get the NFT. Yeah, that's kind of the goal, is that we wanted to do something fun for graduating. Basically all of these are also the requirements for graduating, right? Like you do all these things, you graduate. We've been talking about like doing a graduation NFT and some fun stuff around that. Pa, 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 pa. How does this work for people who already have gotten jobs? Do they need verification? No. I mean, if you get a job, right? Like none of this is required, right? Like a lot of folks like get jobs without doing this, right? It's just if you want these things, right? If these are things that you want, then you do this stuff. Yeah. Cool. All right, just seeing if there's any more questions in here. We'll have office hours this Sunday too. So if there's things that you're worried about or things that come up as you start thinking about this timeline, on Sunday, um, on Sunday you can come. We'll have more time to answer these questions. Leon, I've had horrible experiences with networking, working with teams in the past. My goal is to find a job where I wouldn't have to work with others. Is a coding job out of the question? Yeah, I mean it's hard. A lot of engineers really don't work in isolation. They work as a team. They work building products together. That's kind of hard. The cool thing is that a lot of these jobs are remote now, and like your contact with people can be minimized. There are also people that are individual contributors and like are really good at what they do, and they kind of interact with folks less. But coding is really a collaborative career. So that's kind of hard, but I'm sure there's definitely jobs or opportunities that fit the things that you're looking for. It's a huge space, millions of jobs, right? You'll find something that fits what you're looking for. Yeah, freelancing is also a little bit maybe different, where you're not working necessarily in a team, but for someone. Bu- 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 Do certs help you with the job hunt? Probably not. No, very few ones. Maybe a few of the cloud certs, but even those, not like nobody's going to hire you just because you have one, as a software engineer at least. During Hunttober, how much time do we need to be live every day? Last time we did Mega Month, the calls were about a half an hour each day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When we look at data structures in September, is everyone building the same team project? That'll be up to your team. Last time, like I gave like a general prompt and then people tweaked it to their wants. It's definitely better if you do your own thing, or at least your own variation of it. So I'll give you a general prompt, and then if your team wants to tweak it to your desires, you can definitely do that. Cool. Alrighty, folks, we're getting to the top of the hour. Have you decided what time the Hunttober discard calls will be? Not yet. Once we know how many people and who's going to be in Hunttober, we'll do a doodle to find like what is like the best time for folks, or at least the closest time to helping the most folks. So we'll kind of pick it closer to the actual start. Cool. All right, kind of looking like some questions that aren't related to the hunt. That's okay. But there's a lot here, right? We agree that this was a lot. And so your homework is to start. Go. Start. Why are you still here? Like right now, go. Start. You could be working on your strings. You could be doing your code wars. You could be finishing up your checklist. No raid. Just start. You said you wanted it. Now go and get it. We don't get got. We go get.